think we're live, Evan. I think we're live, Evan.
I believe so.
We're live. We're gonna get the all clear from Austin to tell us we're live. I think we're live. Yeah, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second weekly live stream here on Jedi Talk. I'm your host, Brad Hughes, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Evan Boucher. Evan, what's up, brother?
Hello there, my friends.
I don't think I've seen you since the last live stream.
We have not, I believe, yeah.
I think
exactly Wednesday, so
it was,
exactly
yeah.
Wednesday, that's not a phrase.
It is exactly now. Wednesday.
Exactly Wednesday. Not about Wednesday.
I'm going to turn that up just so we can see ourselves a little better. Perfect. All right. So we wanted to start off the episode saying thank you guys for watching the last live stream. It was a lot of fun. We had some technical difficulties, but we figured it all out, and we're going to actually be able to do this live from the podcast studio. And a little bit later on the show, we're going to actually go through and show you the podcast studio itself. Is it a garage? Yeah, it is. It's a garage, and that's fine. I also want to apologize. There's a barbecue at...
What time is it? Like
11:03 on a Thursday night happening right now. But you know what? The quarantine and COVID has affected everyone differently.
Yeah,
so
if you're
what
going to have fun, I can't knock you.
Have a good time. So we just want to say thank you to everybody for watching the last one.
It's only going to get better from there too.
Yeah, we
had a test before that, but last week was basically another test. Like it was a step above a test, but it was a test.
But it was fun to do, and it's fun to just hang out and talk to you and drink a fuzzy tauntaun or two, smoke a cigar or two, and just kind of hang out with your buddy. Not a lot of news this week. Actually, probably like no news.
No news is good news.
No news is good news, though. There's a few small things. Do you have anything you want to talk about before we go into the tour of the podcast studio? As far as the news segment goes, Austin, go ahead and throw that news segment up, and we can just kind of go through the news here. There's a few things here or there.
Have you been watching any Star Wars posted videos on YouTube at all?
I have not.
They need to just get rid of comments forever for everything.
What happened?
Every single YouTube video posted by Star Wars has 30,000 bots saying the same like two quotes that are like Gina quotes.
No,
that are just like,
really?
Don't ruin my reality by your fake something. I'll pull up something.
I want to see what it was, because that's odd.
Every single Star Wars video for the past like week has bots that post. Look, this one is just their weekly Star Wars news of the week. Look at the comments. I'm not the only one that's ever been bullied by this company. Quote, Gina Carano. The next comment. I'm not the only one that's ever been bullied by this company. Gina Carano.
# fire Kathleen Kennedy.
And then look, another one, same thing. Another one, same thing. Another one, same thing.
Is this like an organized thing, or is it bots?
I think it's bots.
You think it's bots? I think it could be just some people that are just upset about it. Now, here's the thing. As I'm trying to say this trepidatiously, as someone who's worked for the Walt Disney Company and got fired because of tweets.
It's kind of the same situation.
It's the same thing, man. I mean, like, they are a very left-leaning company. Here's the problem with Disney. I don't agree with a lot of the super woke quote woke stuff that happens. But the product that Disney produces is always good.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, Star Wars is fun. Disney World's fun. Disneyland is fun.
When it's open.
When it's there. You know, it's hard. We talked ad nauseum about the things. I don't defend what she says, but I don't think people are understanding that she's comparing something.
Right.
And when your argument is, hey, if you fire me because of differing opinions, what you're doing is really wrong, and it's reflected in history.
Almost.
You're not getting the point that, hey, she's right. I mean,
that kind of proves her point.
Exactly. You're proving the point. And the only other news story I know of is Bill Burr was defending her, and Bill Burr is one of these guys who is he's my second favorite comic of all time. He's number 2 for me. So it's George Carlin and Bill Burr.
Yeah.
I've worked with Bill. I used to be a stand-up comedian. I worked with Bill Burr once. He was the nicest guy on the planet. He knows her outside of these tweets. And Bill, isn't it just so, like, if you think of, and please, this is going to get taken out of context for sure, but if you look at Bill Burr's stand-up, like, he's said way worse stuff than Gina Carano said.
I was about to say that. Like, if you're going to cancel somebody, how is he not? We don't want him to be canceled.
I don't want him to be canceled.
No, we love the guy.
He's my second favorite comic alive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're I think he's the greatest living. A lot of people say Dave Chappelle, but I think Bill Burr's been more consistent. Like, Dave Chappelle put out a comedy special that wasn't a comedy special. It was him talking about the George Floyd thing. Like, that's not comedy. Bill Burr has been consistently funny for 30 years. I mean, he's hilarious.
All of his podcasts and YouTube videos, every single one makes me laugh.
They're hilarious.
All of them. And if you're gonna abide by these canceling rules,
correct. That's what we mean.
He fits in that box.
But
we don't want to cancel. We love him. And we don't want to we don't want Gina Carano to be canceled. But
I think it's ridiculous. I think
it's her in that box. He fits in that box. Like, really,
anyone fits in that box. If you're going by those rules,
we've joked about it. Let's just delete all internet, and everybody has to start clean slate from right now. From the second going forward.
The problem is, like, I remember back in the day when you would get in trouble for something political, right? You would be forced to apologize.
Right.
But now that doesn't even mean anything.
No.
Now they're just like,
even though it's the same, it's still a forced apology.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
But you would still be allowed to work.
Yeah.
Like, think about this. If Robert Downey Jr., who did bad things.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Bad things.
One of my favorite
actors. Bad things.
Yeah.
He woke up drunk in like a neighbor kid's house with a child in the bed.
Yeah.
He's Iron Man. He actually did something that is wrong.
Yeah.
Versus someone saying words. Like, that is unfathomable to me.
A somewhat tangent related, like, side note, like the whole Johnny Depp thing. Johnny Depp didn't do anything, and now he's canceled.
Johnny Depp was the victim of domestic abuse, and he got fired from a job.
Yeah.
Unreal.
And somehow the abuser is, like, still involved in, still acting, still in Hollywood.
Unreal. It's unbelievable. It's so, we live in this backwards world right now that is just so insane to me. I read a tweet today that it was like, kids in 1995, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Right.
And it was like, adults in 2021, words are literally violence. It's like,
yeah.
What are we doing?
We just need to at least delete commenting and delete, like, Twitter doesn't.
But see, that's a problem, because, like, if we're, this is a greater argument, but if we are, like, Jack Dorsey of Twitter has said that the social media platforms should be, this is on Rogan's podcast. He said that they are the new public forum. Well, then you can't censor things.
True.
Because if it's a public forum and people are allowed to say whatever they want, you can't just shut people down for those people having opinions that are different than you. Like, the problem that people don't realize that people who think differently, and that goes for either side. Like, people on the left, people on the right, like, you're allowed to disagree. I mean, dude, I'm sure there's things me and you disagree on.
Yeah. Many things.
But it's not like we can't be friends. Like, it's insane to be like, oh, you don't agree with me on every single thing? Well, I can't speak to you. It's like, that's insane.
And there's some family members that even, not my family, but, like, people I know, like, in their family, there's that divide.
Why?
That, like, moms and
But that's a recent thing.
Yeah, very recent.
I don't understand it.
It makes no sense. It's because everything has become so either polarized. Either or. Yeah. There's no in between anymore. And
I honestly think, man, it's become one of those things where it's like the middle is boring.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't do anything for anyone. Like, it's not going to get you clicks. It's not going to get you attention being in the middle. And that's so sad that that's the case. But, like, I just don't understand what we're doing. You don't agree with what she said, fine. But should she never be allowed to be creative again because you disagree? It's just, I do not understand it.
No, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
And
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I just find it strange that comedians now are like the voice of reason. Comedians aren't supposed to be like. I spent a lot of time being a comedian. I worked my ass off. I did like sometimes I would do 4 or 5 shows a night in Charlotte, which was really hard to do because there's not a comedy scene really in Charlotte. There's some really good comics in Charlotte, but there's not a scene like you think of like New York, LA, Houston.
Right.
There's like cities in the country that are known. Denver is another one that are known for having good local comedians. None of those, and there's Todd Riley. there's a bunch of people that I think in Charlotte are really good comics. None of those people should be the voice of reason. Like, they're all maniacs.
Yeah, you have to be in that profession.
You do.
Yeah.
It's
look at Robin Williams. He's my favorite. Look at him. Like, that man was amazing.
How does that? It doesn't end well. No. And having someone like Bill Burr, who is for me and for a lot of people the top of the craft, like having to come out and be like, what are we doing? And
I've even said that too. Like, Robin Williams works for Disney multiple times, and he said some crazy stuff.
But he got. I mean, I don't even know if you guys know this story. The Robin Williams and Disney story is not a good story. It was
Aladdin.
Yes.
Yeah, how they promised him certain things and then they went right back on it.
Michael
Eisner.
Eisner
Use him in marketing.
Yep.
And they used him in marketing big time.
And like when they say use him in marketing, like, you can't advertise the film as like starring Robin Williams.
Right. Yeah.
Because the whole thing was it was supposed to be you're enjoying the performance.
Yeah.
And being like, that voice sounds familiar.
Like, yeah. Who's this cool?
Who
character?
is this guy?
Who's this character?
And he wasn't supposed to be like used in toys.
Yeah. But
and
he
all
was
that
using
stuff, which is marketing technically.
Yeah.
And they ended up buying him like Michael Eisner ended up buying him like a Mona Lisa or something. Not
because he wasn't in
some
the direct to DVD or the direct to VHS sequel, but they brought him back for the TV
King
show.
of Thieves.
Right?
No,
the third movie. You're right.
Movie. So
he
wasn't in Return Jafar. Do you know who did the voice of him?
I forgot.
I know this. This is a great little trivia question. Dan Castellaneta, who does the voice of Homer Simpson, did the voice of the genie.
And he's also, isn't he Hopper? You probably don't know because of Bug's Life, but isn't he Hopper's brother in Bug's Life?
I don't know, but I do know that he's the grandfather from Hey Arnold.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. But then they brought Robin back because they kind of patched things up and mended things. And then obviously one of my favorite attractions of all time, which I actually watched on YouTube.
One of my favorite lines from that movie, it's stuck in my head ever since I saw it from a kid. It's a kid in Return Jafar. I think it was Return Jafar. Have you ever seen Return Jafar?
Like once, like 20 years
ago. Do you
ago.
remember this line? He goes, pulls a man's game when you play in a rug, and then the rug beats him, and he goes, the carver beats him, and he goes, pulls a dumb game anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've always thought about that line.
It's kind of a callback to the first Aladdin. When he like tugs on his tie, he's like, I'm losing to a rug.
That's the Rodney Dangerfield impression.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But
Disney obviously worked with him again for Timekeeper in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
I love that.
That may have been before, because that was 94 Tomorrowland. When did Aladdin come out? 95? It wasn't 96.
I wanted to say 7.
It actually might have been 94.
Yeah, then it was probably around the same time. So
look it up and see when it came out. I would bet it was 94.
You know what kind of bothers me a little bit? I bet when I type in Aladdin 2019, Aladdin's going to pop up.
Let's hope not.
So,
you know what's sad? That was like one of the better remakes that was still
That's
good.
92.
92?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's way earlier than I thought it was.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking mid-90s.
Well, that makes sense because it was Little Mermaid 89, 91 was Beauty and the Beast, 92 was Aladdin. So that makes sense. Have you watched the this is very quickly turned into a Disney podcast.
That's okay because there's not a lot of news at the moment.
Have you started the Waking Sleeping Beauty documentary yet?
No, because I went back. I've been hardcore doing Darkwing Duck. Hardcore watching Darkwing.
You've probably watched more Darkwing Duck than I have at this point. I've only seen
season 1 again. Obviously, in my childhood, I watched all of them, but recently I've watched all of season.
That was the thing, man. I didn't watch all of them. I had like a few VHSs.
Wait, you never saw them on TV? Like
no, I didn't have cable. It was on ABC.
I never had any copies of them. I just had them on Disney on TV.
I bought the DVDs when they came out, and I was like 18, 17, something like that.
Oh, I wish I had DVDs. I buy them now, even have.
I have multiple copies of the DVDs. I actually have the box set, like it came in like a box. Of season 1 and season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
And then I have like the the regular DVD cases. They came in like season 1, season 2, like that. So I bought both. I'm glad I did it too.
Yeah. And then aside from that, I also started rewatching Little Mermaid the series too.
I never watched any of that.
Yeah, I watched that as a kid. So
I'm sorry
seeing all
to
that,
go through that.
But those ones are not great. Darkwing was great.
Little Mermaid holds up.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't hold up? Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
I never really liked that anyway. So that's fine.
I liked it. I liked it a lot, but it doesn't hold up. Tailspin holds up.
Oh, hell yeah. I love
Tailspin's awesome.
Yep. What's funny though is like that's basically Jungle Book, but Indiana Jones.
I didn't know that until I was a kid, or until I was an adult.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
I
didn't even realize it was the same characters.
Yeah, it's not the same voice actors. It's not the same voice actors, but
no. But you know who did the voice of King Louis?
I'm gonna bet that it is our man who voices Darkwing Duck.
Friend of the show, Jim Cummings.
Yep.
I can't say friend of the show. We're not friends, but
he was on the show.
He's been a guest of the show.
Yeah.
All right, man. What's another news story? Let's talk some Star Wars.
Well, to correct, I guess something from our last news from last week. The Republic Commando coming out for Switch and PlayStation. how I thought I had a demo copy of it on like Revenge of the Sith or one of my canon Skywalker series DVDs. It's actually from the now non-canon Jedi Tartakovsky 2D animated Clone Wars.
Okay,
which I have that disc. And
technicality question. You ready?
Play that all the time.
Technicality question. So we know all of the Star Wars games are not canon now.
Those ones.
Those old Lucasfilm Limited, those games.
Yeah.
Had they released it on that DVD, would it then be canon because it was released officially on a canon material DVD? Or is
it would have been back then, but not now.
Is it just the movie? It's got to be just the movie itself that's canon. This is really a tricky conversation.
Yeah, but I mean, if that game was on Revenge of the Sith DVD,
canon, so that's a stupid argument.
Yeah,
that I say that.
But not the game, but the Jedi Tartakovsky 2D animation Clone Wars is partially canon. Some of it's canon.
Such a good.
I love it. It's amazing. Especially the attack on Coruscant.
All the Grievous stuff is
just. Yeah. Grievous was a badass in that.
Yeah.
And then the current.
That's the guy that did Samurai Jack, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Austin and I love Samurai Jack. We watched that every day as a kid.
I never watched it.
No.
And it's one of those things that I wish I had gone back and watched.
Well, Jendi also did Dexter's Lab. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I love Dexter's Lab. But I feel like it's very different.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't know that as a kid, but like when I watched Clone Wars and then I watched Samurai Jack, I'm like, this has to be the same guy, right? But Dexter's Lab is like over here, and those other things.
Dexter's Lab is
so
one of
good.
the all-time great shows. It holds up. Yeah, Dexter's Lab holds up.
I love
all the Cartoon Network stuff holds up. From that era.
Not the whole like now. What's the new ones like
the Gumball?
Yeah,
those are actually pretty fun. You got to go in with an open mind and watch it. It's pretty good.
Yes,
some of them are good.
The one that I'm like borderline on is
Regular Show.
No, I love
Regular Show's hilarious.
I love Regular Show. Mordecai and Rigby. And I was like,
didn't watch it. Oh yeah. That's the character's name. I thought you meant the show. I was like, what?
No. And then what was it? The Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
That was okay.
I was like borderline with that.
It was okay.
But Republic Commando, Austin and I did always play on my cousin's Xbox, the old Xbox, the big black cube with like the big X in the middle, the original Xbox.
Yeah.
So yeah, we played that game, just the demo level, like the same level, every Christmas and every Thanksgiving. We played that.
You know what I watched tonight? I watched the pilot episode of Kenan and Kel because we got Paramount Plus.
What's that?
It's a new streaming service.
Is it just Nickelodeon, basically?
It's Nickelodeon, CBS, MTV, BET. I feel like I'm missing one other one. The Smithsonian Channel, which there's a ton of like history documentaries. I'm all in.
Some of that's Michael Eisner related because he worked for Paramount, so I don't know how involved he is.
The Viacom stuff, so all SpongeBob's there. The new SpongeBob show, the Krusty Krab.
Did you see?
Thing.
It could be a
Patrick Star.
Could be fake. Yeah,
it's real.
Patrick Star.
It's not fake. It's real.
Patrick is one of the best parts about SpongeBob, but I hope they don't pull a Mater in Cars and just be like, Mater's funny. Let's just like Mater everything.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Can't do that.
The thing is, like, the guy. This is veering so far off topic from Star Wars.
It's okay. There's not that
Steven
much
Hillenburg, the guy that created SpongeBob,
passed away a while ago.
Yeah, and was like adamant while he was alive, no spinoffs. It's like it's just SpongeBob.
Right.
And as soon as he dies, Nickelodeon's like, let's just cash it in. It's such a
that
sad
part
thing
kind
to
of
say.
sucks.
Such a sad thing to see.
And which I just realized today when I was watching Timekeeper stuff that Robin Williams passed away 7 years ago.
That's insane.
7 years.
Did I ever tell you?
That's the only celebrity death where I know where I was when it happened.
So here's how twisted comedians are. Okay, I only ever did 2 jokes the day of someone passing away. That day, one of them was when Paul Walker died. I went on stage that night and did a joke I wrote about it that day. And the other person was Robin Williams.
Oh, man. He's a comedian. He would make the same joke. Robin definitely.
I don't know if he'd make the same joke, but I think he would like admire the
Robin wouldn't care.
Tenacity of doing it.
Yeah, he wouldn't care.
And the joke was, you guys hear that Robin Williams passed away, man? Yeah, he killed himself. It was really sad. I guess he really didn't want to do Mrs. Doubtfire too.
I could see him not caring about that joke. I could definitely see him being like, "Oh, it's funny.
Oh, it's a really good joke." It's
right?
It's not a really good joke, but it was
he
one of those
wouldn't
things
care.
Timely like that day. It's like, dang, you wrote a joke that day about.
Yeah.
The other one was when Paul Walker died. It was.
He didn't want to do Fast and the Furious 25.
Nope. It was. I was like, guys, Paul Walker died. It's really sad. However, on the bright side, there's actually going to finally be some good acting in those movies.
Oh damn. Even though there's no good acting in those movies.
I was wrong, but it was one of those things where it's just like that's like the sensibility of a comedian, and that's
that's the point of that job.
You're supposed to. It's Tim Dillon always says this. When you're a comedian, it is very rare to say the funny thing that is also right.
Because there's basically never a coincidence. Yeah.
Okay.
There's basically never a coincidence or a connection between funny and right. Because like if it's right, it's what we kind of expect to happen. It's what's normal. But like to make something funny, it has to be what you don't expect. Yeah, that's what makes it funny.
See, here's an example. It's like all the gender inclusivity stuff. It's like it'd be like, hey, you hear these people who are trans? Yeah, we should give them their rights.
See, it's not funny because
there's nothing funny about that,
right? Because we should give them their rights. It's not a joke.
That's not a joke. Like you have to say something like, "Who are these?" Like I'm not even going to go there, but like you have to say something not on the fly and write something that's unique and a funny take on it.
Yeah,
like George Carlin said this. Anything can be funny if you do it right.
Yeah.
Any topic.
Yeah, and that's the same thing about it's not funny and comedian related, but that's what we say about Star Wars, or like they can do anything as long as it's done right.
As long as it's done right, that's what it matters.
Like we were always like, we don't really need or want Luke, but if they bring Luke into Mandalorian, if it's done right,
they did it.
We'll love it, and it was done perfectly.
They could not have done it better.
We loved it. It's like that's all it comes down to. If it's done right, we'll like it.
All right, man. Before we go to the next topic, you want to go and do a little tour of the studio?
Sure.
Let's do it. You guys want to see the podcast studio? Because this is something we've never really done before.
No.
We don't really take photos of stuff, but this would be, anytime you're hearing a Jedi Talk podcast, this is the podcast
Most
studio.
Of the time. There was one occasion where I was home and you were in your home.
That's because I had a COVID test. I didn't know if I was.
But you did not have COVID.
I did not have COVID. But I didn't know. So why don't we just show everybody what our view is here? Come on, help me do this. I don't want to do this for myself. All right. So this is the bookshelf we reference. Wait, can we even do this? I guess we'll have to just turn the camera around. That's fine. This is the bookshelf where we talk about all the legacy lightsabers. So here's all the legacy lightsabers here. They're all there.
What's your top one up here? Not your top as in like your favorite.
I think it's that one because it's easy to get to if I have to put it away. Or it could be Obi-Wan's.
That's definitely,
I'm not sure.
This is empty.
Is it Obi-Wan's?
Oh.
It's Obi-Wan's, yeah.
Obi-Wan's.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
One that gets tossed down the shaft.
No, kick down the shaft.
Sorry, kick down.
Come on. Semantics.
There's a belt for some reason. Here's all the other ones here, and then it goes all the way down. So I have them going from the Sith to the light. Boom. Also some Galaxy's Edge stuff up here. Also, like all the. What's funny? I always say I don't have a ton of Star Wars stuff, and then when I look at them, that's a lot of stuff.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. It's always was like. It's not all Star Wars. There's Roger Rabbit back there from one of my all-time favorite movies, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Some Star Wars and Disney stuff up there. That Disney 60th lunchbox that was like a Target. So these are all my Magic bands. There's like 200 or something of them here. These are just the Disney Parks ones. And then these back here are all my Star Wars ones. Just Star Wars ones.
Wow, I didn't know you divided them.
I did. Divided them. Sabak, all my art of books.
Next
all
time
the
we
books
go to
I've read.
We have to play Sabak again.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work for you.
Okay, well, we need to play Sabak again soon.
We do.
Or when.
Let's play it outside where it's not as hard for you to read the cards. These are all Magic Band boxes.
We do it on
it's 2 rows deep. And then some stuff I haven't put up yet. And then you got Snoke.
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Some Funkos over here. This is one of my favorite things I have in the whole thing. It's the Mandalorian vinyl. It's pretty cool. It's what it looks like from the vinyl. Got the baby. Oh, this is one of my favorite things I have actually. Here, hold this.
BB9E.
So okay, so it's what's his name?
BB9E.
What is the tag say?
Oh, I forgot. You told me this.
BB93. There's a typo. So that is the only reason I bought.
I forgot
this.
You told me that. I was like, why is this your favorite
Hollywood
thing?
Studios.
That's why.
And it was there.
And it wasn't just this one that I typo. It was all of these.
It was all of those plush.
The whole line.
Then they pulled them and put them out with the right one. So I grabbed it. I grabbed it when it was the wrong one. This is one of my favorite things I own. This is my media badge from Star Wars Celebration here in Orlando in 2017, autographed by Rian Johnson. So Rian Johnson came out and did a whole massive meet and greet with everyone that was waiting in line to see his panel for The Last Jedi, and that's where everyone lost their minds. The Jedi that was that trailer, the Talk of the Jedi, the end trailer. That was the debut of that. It was unbelievable. He was such a good dude. This is an exclusive Mandalorian poster that was given away at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago that me and Alex went to. I love this a lot. This is Disney's Hollywood Studios Cast Expo. I don't think I went to this. I may have.
That's such a cool.
I don't remember. I don't think I went to this, but I got it somehow from a friend or something. It does. Star Wars Galactic Nights with the crate artwork that I absolutely love with all the things there. This is my Star Wars Celebration media badge from Chicago. It's really cool. This was the marathon event for all 9 movies in the Star Wars saga. I did here in Orlando. And then I left after the prequel trilogy.
You got the blanket for that, too.
Got the blanket for that, too. That Clone Wars poster was for the Season 7 release, and that was from the trailer they did at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago as well. This was from Solo, a Star Wars story, just like a thing that the theater gave us. Got some patches here, some miniature Black Series. Got Darkwing Duck representing. That one's cool, too.
I have the same poster at home.
Did you?
Yeah. Because we were both there that day. We didn't know each other then.
Oh, really? I thought that was before we knew each other because that wasn't open yet.
This is how we met, because I watched your video from the 30th anniversary, and I walked past your shot and didn't even know.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I commented.
Can you see yourself in the video?
Yeah. I have my Toy Story hat on. Yeah, my Pizza Planet hat on.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I commented. I said, hey, I walked past you. And you're like, hey, you should have said hi, bro.
That's so wild.
And then we met.
I did not know that until I remember. I kind of vaguely remember that.
That's how it all started. And then it really started for the opening of Galaxy's Edge. That's
so
where it started.
Crazy.
Was that day.
That is nuts. All right, you want to see one of my all-time favorite things that I own? It is this. So the morning of Star Wars Celebration, the first big panel they did was a Rise of Skywalker panel, and they gave out breakfast from McDonald's.
What?
Yes, and this was and these Happy Meal boxes. These were only available that morning. Me and Alex traded for this. We
free food.
I don't want to. No, it was just the box. It was just the box.
Oh, there's no food.
There's no. I'm not gonna. Since we're media, I'm not gonna say what we traded for. We traded some stuff.
I don't want to know.
It may. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
No favors or anything. We're not.
It was definitely some favors.
Oh.
But it was.
Okay.
It was. Let's just say it may or may not have been access to another highly excitable panel that we had access to that some people may not have had access to.
Well,
let's just leave it at that. And that's all hearsay. For all you know, we were at that panel. Actually, you know what? That's what it was. We were at this panel that morning. We got an Egg McMuffin. We got an Egg McMuffin. That's all it was. This was from Vader Immortal. I got this. I think I got this at Chicago. I'm not sure. And then the other Galactic Knights poster from 2018 that was leading up to The Last Jedi and Solo, I think. Oh, no, it was leading up to Solo. It was the night of Solo release, because that's what the Solo Falcon looks like. This was just some media or some stuff they gave out when the Crash Fate came out at the studios. This has a deeper meaning that I don't want to get to on this podcast because I really don't feel like crying tonight, but we'll talk about that on another episode. Got some more Funkos over here. Knights of Ren, some exclusive ones. They have like the silver cast. I really, really like those.
Obi-Wan?
The Obi-Wan that was supposed to be at Star Wars Celebration this past year in 2020 in Anaheim that didn't happen. I got some. It's a mess in here. I apologize. Jabba the Hutt and Salacious Crumb from the Star Wars 40th Celebration here in Orlando as well.
And then the Rise of Skywalker poster, which we all thought was fake.
This thing is falling apart.
We thought it was fake because of the 3PO with the bowcaster and stuff, but turns out it's not.
I remember going there's no way that
we thought it was a fan-made
There's
fake.
no way it's real.
But it's real.
It's real, and it was very sad that it was real. But
I love it, except that.
I got the Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket from Hollywood Studios here.
Popcorn bucket.
Yeah, don't they put
I have it
fries
too,
in it. They put fries in it at Disneyland.
Popcorn makes a little more sense, but not much.
Yeah, not much. Then this is from when I was a cast member. They sold these at the cast member store. It was from Pop Century, the 80s pavilion. It's kind of cool. The only reason I bought it is because of the Darkwing Duck. And there's a video of me doing a room review, and I see that, and I was like, you can see me in the video, notice it, and I kind of freak out. So that's why I bought it.
Anything Darkwing, you're gonna freak out.
Anything Darkwing.
Speaking of Darkwing,
my kids did these paintings, so I put these up here. I love Any artwork from the kids? Well, you're not a kid.
You're right.
My daughter made these, all three of them. I think it's supposed to be like a stop sign, but I didn't put them up that way because I'm stupid. Join the resistance, but of course, this was done by my friend Katie Bear back home, and this was done by Sean, who I've done the Hot Wings stuff with, who's a really good guy. I was talking today. I love Sean.
Funny dude.
This I bought the other day by accident at the outlet. Yay!
It says H2O.
I don't understand what it means. I don't know, but it's got crate behind it. I don't know.
Was he in that seat?
You know what's funny? I
put that on my basket because I know you like the droids, and I was like, let's just see if he wants it, and then I forgot to text you about it.
Oh, good.
And then when I got home, I realized it was there. I don't
need to watch it and see if he is.
Isn't.
Why would they put crate there?
Because he's red and white.
I guess. I thought it was orange.
That's a very easy question to answer there. All right. Then we got the action figure wall here.
Starting off with some 40th anniversary stuff. Everything you see here was mostly cured at Star Wars Celebration. Well, I'm not saying that's actually not true anymore. It used to be true.
Yeah, because the Mando section.
Mando section is not.
And the Phantom Menace. Those are new.
Those are new.
Newish.
Got some Darkwing figures. Oh, this is my newest edition. That was at the outlet as well.
They fly now.
$8. There's one of them.
They fly now.
They fly now?
He flies now.
They fly now. We got some Vader ones. I got
an Emblem Holdo because I just love Laura Dern. Laura Dern's an American treasure. These two I got from Celebration, the Rey and the Kylo, which I know breaks your heart. Then I got the White Box Black Series.
Those break my heart too.
I got all four of those at Force Friday. But yeah, that's a little
tour of. Oh, one last thing. It's not Star Wars.
You haven't talked about your boy though.
I will. Which one? R5? Oh, all the R5 stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I have him out of the box and in the box. I got that one there. Got that one there. It's the same exact action figure, just different packaging. So I felt like I had to got him in Star Wars Celebration in Orlando. Got him at Orlando as well. And then there's another one that I have out of the box. I actually don't even know where he is. I think he's up there somewhere. But he's. I don't know where. He actually might be inside.
Over here. But yeah, he could be inside.
I don't know.
Usually by the fridge.
I don't know where he's at. He's here somewhere. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Today's the anniversary of what you were going to say. Your McDonald's box up there. Today's the opening day.
Oh, you're right.
Of Mickey and Minnie's.
That's right. So it's 2 years?
1 year.
No.
Yeah.
It's only a year old?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what.
They briefly released these during the pandemic, Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway. I got the box, and I actually have all the figures from the Happy Meal release.
Nice. I have that box and just the Goofy in the train.
I have them in the packaging. They're all nice.
I have Goofy in the pack.
So, yeah, that's the podcast studio. The only other thing I want to point out, did we talk about the patches last week? No. The 501st patches? No. Okay, hold this.
Whoa, those things.
Hold this. They're right here.
Crazy.
So one of the people from the Facebook group that I do Magical Merch, I'm not going to say the name because I don't know, I don't know. So I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But send me a bunch of patches from the 501st and some coins, and they are
the coins are amazing.
Amazing.
I mean, the patches are too. But
this one's my favorite.
I'm so dumb. I didn't even see Kylo on there for the first time.
And
he's my guy.
This is from the premiere, the Red Carpet premiere, episode 9, dude.
It's awesome.
I mean, come on. Then I got these cool pins from the San Francisco chapter.
Those are sick.
They're
the Golden
really
Gate
cool.
Bridge.
Thank you. You know who you are if you're watching this. I appreciate it. These are some of my most prized possessions. I actually don't even have them out because I don't want anyone to see them. I know this sounds weird, but I just kind of don't want anyone.
I love that. Sick.
They're really, really cool. And then one last thing here before we get back to the actual show. Golden State, the Golden Chapter. Golden State Chapter, yeah. Golden Gate.
See, I'm more of a pin guy, so those pins and the medallions and stuff.
See,
that's more for me.
I find myself liking the patches. I don't know why. I'm not going to do anything with them.
No, I have a few patches too. What I'm going to do with them?
They're cool. I think I'm going to put them on a black backpack so I can just make a cool Galaxy's Edge backpack.
Yeah.
But that's podcast video. We were talking about that. No, you're good. Earlier tonight, and I just kind of wanted to show people because it's a cool little spot where we do the podcast, and this is kind of our little studio here. So Austin, if you want to go ahead and go into the next segment, I don't know what it's going to be, but we can.
Whatever you want to
go
pick.
You pick a segment and we'll go with it.
What's his official title? You had to give him a title.
Producer.
Producer?
Yeah, he's a producer.
Producer's choice. I don't know if he's doing the cutaways. What's new on Batu?
What's new on Batu?
I don't think. No, I know I haven't been since.
Oh,
Siri knows what's new on Batu. Siri, what's new on Batu?
No, don't say it again. I haven't been to Batu since
the last show for
my birthday.
Whoa, it's been a month almost.
Is that right?
It had to be.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, man. I think my birthday was last time I was on Batu.
I was there the Sunday before our last show, but that was the last time. And I said my new on Batu was building that droid, and you had something from the Droid Depot that we both had never heard of, and I don't know how you found out about it, but you kind of put it to the test.
Put it to the test. So it was the Droid Depot app. Excuse me, which you can download in the Apple Store, and I assume the Google Play Store. I would assume it's the same on both. You're the Google guy, I'm the Apple guy.
That's true.
I don't know,
but I don't really do extra apps and stuff. So somehow I've still not done the whole Disney Play. I haven't done the data pad
at all.
No, never.
You would have a freaking field.
I know I would love it. I know.
Download it. Your phone can do it now.
I don't have any space. I need to go buy a memory card.
I'll give you a freaking micro SD card.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find one for you.
Okay.
You need to do it.
Of course I do.
So I downloaded the app, and basically it just kind of turns your phone into a remote control with a few extra functions. So one of the functions is you can kind of chart a path for your droid. Ooh. So it sounds way cooler than it actually is.
So you can program it ahead of time.
So no, it's not even that. It's basically like it'll do a turn or go straight or a turn. You can it'll keep doing the sequence you pick, and so it'll be like turn. He'll go like me.
It's like a pre-programmed.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's kind of cool.
There's a few other things, but that was the only one that I thought was really interesting. Was that one? And then there's also just like if you forget the remote control, you can have a remote control for you there. Everything else is just kind of whatever. But I have no other news for what's new on Batu this week. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's really nothing. I'm missing it a lot more than normal because this is dumb, but I've actually had 2 dreams about it the past week.
I saw your Instagram post about that.
That was serious.
My first thought was like, really? And then I was like, honestly, though, like I haven't been either in a while.
Yeah, and I've had 2 dreams where I was there, and one of them made no sense because Kylo was in.
I want the dreams. I want the dreams. Tell me what the dreams were.
Well, the first one was, I knew it made no sense for 2 reasons, and they're obvious.
You had dreams about a theme park.
A theme park land. The greatest theme park land. Come on.
Oh, I forgot to show my Captain Phasma.
Which you told the story of these mugs, right?
Yeah, I've told the story of these mugs. I'm not going to rehash it. I think it was on the show. But these are from Star Wars. They're from the Disney parks. Yeah.
So the first dream was we did Rise, but somehow, this is how I knew it made no sense. And it was fake. It was a dream. Somehow, we didn't do the escape pod sequence, but we managed to come out on the first floor. So spoilers for Rise of the Resistance. Like, we are on the second floor when Kylo does his, there is no escape. And then, like, the next second we're standing outside. And I was like, wait, we didn't do the escape pod. So then I went to cast members. I was like, do we get to go on it again? So we didn't do the escape pod, and nobody would help me. Everyone looked at me like I was stupid.
That sounds about right for Disney right now, actually, though.
And which I am stupid, so it's fine. And then, as I was sitting around, like, complaining and whining, Kylo was walking through the Resistance Force. I'm like, why is he here? That makes no sense. So that's how I knew it was a dream. But my second dream, you were actually in it. So I dreamt about you, technically.
Oh, weird.
No homo.
It's okay.
No homo in this dream.
Little homo. There's been some homo dreams. That's okay.
Yeah, not this dream.
What was it?
So, for some reason, we were building another droid. And then you showed up, and you're vlogging or something, or live streaming. So I was like, okay, he's going to live stream this droid build. I'm going to leave, because I don't need to be in the droid depot again. And then as I was out there...
It doesn't sound like you.
The droid depot, I've done it twice now. I built mine, and Taylor built hers. Like
I just burned my finger really bad.
That.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on.
Ow.
So I was like, I don't need to be in here again. I've done this.
Oh.
So I went outside, and Vi was out there, and then, like, a bunch of new... They weren't, like, cast members that worked at Docking Bay 7 or something. They were actual, like, the 2 characters. Just a bunch of them walking around and talking to people. So then I started, like, interacting with them. And, like, the walkway above, like, the garage with the speeders and stuff, that was just open to guests. So I was like, wait, I can go up there now? And the cast member was like, or not the cast member, the character was like, sure, yeah, you can go on up there. I was like, what? So I got up there, I was taking all the pictures.
That's cool.
And then I tried calling you. I was like, Brad, get out here. Get Brad.
That's so
funny. And you
funny.
guys wouldn't come out. You were in the droid depot, and I was just up there talking to talking to Vi, talking to Batu citizens.
That's so funny.
And then,
what would you rather?
Then it gets better, because then up on the rooftops across the way, Hondo was walking around, and I was like, Hondo's out too now. I was like, Brad, get out here, and like you guys wouldn't come out here.
That's so.
And then you guys eventually came out when it was all done. He's like, you missed it. Hondo. I was on the roof over there.
That sounds right. I'd be like, oh man, I missed it.
No, you're like, no, you weren't. You're just like BS. You're lying. I'm like, no, Hondo was there. I was on that roof. Like,
so funny.
That was my dream. So
that's very funny.
That's what I wish was new on Batu. It was not new on Batu.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything new. The newest thing is the Cal Kestis lightsaber.
Yeah. I mean, that's the newest big thing. I mean,
I'm ready for some new lightsabers.
It's like a tangent, I guess. Like Disneyland has their trading post open.
Yeah, we talked about that on the last
one. Rainforest Cafe, which is like
looks like Yavin.
Batu, basically, or Yavin, basically.
Looks like the base on Yavin to me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be canon. I hope they give it a name,
that'd be cool.
Based on whatever, and make it canon. That would be sweet.
Is the planet is it Agent Kloss that they were on, and that was it the.
That's where Luke and Leia train. And that's the base in episode 9.
Okay, yeah. So it could be there.
That would be cool.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Agent Kloss.
Yeah.
AJEN.
I think it's IN. KLOSS.
Grab the book.
Let's
see what it's called. I don't remember the name of it. I always want to call it Agent, like AGENT.
It sounds like a character name.
It does. It's not the best planet name.
The worst visual dictionary of the 9, in my opinion.
The 9. I don't even know if the other ones exist.
Wait, there is none for the originals.
I think there are.
Are there some for the originals?
AJA. I just saw it.
AJIN? That's my guess. I believe it's IN.
It was AJAN.
AN. Okay, fair enough.
Visual dictionary. Agent Kloss.
But yet, there's nothing in there about Chandrilla or Palpatine.
I'm telling you, it's because they didn't want it to leak. It has to be what it was, because stuff like that leaks from those things all the time before they come out. I mean, I remember.
Don't even make the book until the movie's out. Then, if that's the case.
But then you don't have it to be with the movie, and then if people who don't like the movie aren't going to buy the book because they didn't like the movie.
That's true.
It's all business.
But I like the movie, and I don't like the book.
I don't mind the book. I just wish it was more comprehensive. That's the thing.
Same.
What's in there is fine.
That's true.
But
there's nothing in there
that's stupid. It's just not as like they literally have a section of the Battle of Crate.
Yeah, it gives you like a recap of like here's what's happened so far, and then it jumps in.
Meanwhile,
right? It's Clone Wars.
Chapter 1, the story so far, and it starts on Jakku, and it's
it gives you episode 7.
The whole thing.
It gives you episode 8.
Well, here's the thing with Snoke. I mean,
he gives you good stuff on Snoke.
Yeah, there's some stuff there. I mean, it's like I said, it's not bad. I just wish that to me, if they just had something on the Emperor, it would have been
just
solid.
give me 2 pages on the Emperor, like,
and the final order. Like, there's a little bit of them in there, right? Am I wrong?
The Sith Elite and like the final.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there for.
And maybe if you're gonna like go crazy, which I would love, like some on the Sith cultists. But that's about it.
See, this is a good little. We've talked about it a little bit on the show. Were those actual people?
Yeah,
they were. It was thousands of actual Sith
that whole
people.
arena were. They weren't.
See,
Sith.
I always
They're
thought it was
sensitive.
I always thought it was just a
spirits or visual,
like a vision kind of thing.
Yeah, no, they were actually like
real.
When in the beginning of the film, when Kylo's walking through and seeing the tub of Snokes, I almost said Snokes. Those people working on those tubs, those are the Sith cultists. So those same people you see working on that stuff are in the arena.
I need to rewatch them. Me and Holly were talking about this today. We're going through and watching the Marvel timeline, or the Marvel movies in timeline order.
Not release order.
Not release order, timeline order. So we watched Captain America tonight.
The first Avenger. That's the first movie.
The only problem with it is the after credit scenes make no sense. Because the after credit scene for Captain America, which is the first timeline movie, is the preview for the first Avengers movie.
Yeah. So that
the after credit scene
isn't in that timeline. It's like way ahead in the timeline.
I know, but like if you're watching it, you're going like, what?
That's true. That's a good point.
So it's almost like you need to watch the after credit scenes after
you need to watch Captain America and then like 6 movies and then the after credit scene for Captain America, which is actually here, but it's here, but it's It's
weird. I didn't really consider that
I never thought about that.
It's
I've never
weird.
watched them in timeline order.
It's weird. It's like there's a thing on Disney Plus. You can watch them in timeline order.
Oh, nice.
And
I've
so
only
it's
seen them in
Captain-
release order.
The only one I remember is Captain America and then Captain Marvel. I think it's Iron Man 1 too.
Iron Man 1 is after Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Because Captain Marvel's in
Captain
the
America,
90s.
Captain Marvel, Iron Man.
Iron Man 1 takes place in 2008.
Jon Favreau. Genius. All right.
Genius, Favreau.
But since we had nothing, we talked about Captain America and what's new on Batu.
Well, you're going to say you need to watch episode 9 again, is what you were trying to say.
Yes, and you watch episode 9 again.
Yeah.
And I also want to say I wish they would put those movies in timeline order because I think that'd be really cool.
No, they're in release.
They're in release order. And it's just an it doesn't.
With that,
It's just an arrangement of it's a playlist. Just give me
with both Marvel and Star Wars, now you can do timeline order, including TV shows.
Yep.
So switch WandaVision wherever the hell that fits in the timeline.
It's after.
Some of it's before the snap. Some of it's after the snap.
No,
I don't know.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
It's all after the snap.
Some of it's before.
No, it isn't.
Because they show Monica being unsnapped. Monica Rambeau.
Oh, you're right.
That was so far the coolest thing in the series. Because that's the only thing I wasn't like, that's
yeah,
fun,
you're
that's fun.
right.
I was
It
like,
is-
whoa,
it
we're
is.
doing
I
unsnapped.
completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Shoot.
But you could also do it with Star Wars now. You can throw in Clone Wars and Rebels and Resistance and
But see,
Mando.
that's a flashback. You can still say it's after the snap
That's fair.
because it's essentially a flashback of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, let's move on to the next thing.
Whatever
Also,
you want to give us.
you producer's pick.
choice.
Producer's pick.
Oh, that's better.
Producer's pick.
That's
You tell me what
more
we're doing.
creative. He's more creative.
You tell me what we're doing,
I'm just here to talk about what happens. You guys are the creative ones.
and I'm all in for it.
And that's why you guys came up with this great name of the
P-U-S-A.
P-U-S-A.
My favorite segment of the show.
I still laugh when I hear that. That's so clever. It's so obvious.
Everyone
too. How
should
do you
laugh,
not
but
do
just at us.
it, right? No, wait, no, laugh at both. Segment name and us.
It's really stupid.
That's
but,
such a great name.
I don't have one, so I feel bad that I let everyone
I don't have
down.
much on it, so we'll kind of say the minimum we have about it, and then we'll just kind of talk about how this one, in my opinion, is actually retroactively good.
I have one for next week.
2 years ago, if you would have told me about this, I would have said, "F you, no."
My one for next week is going to be epic, and I just didn't. I know enough about it, but I want to dive deep into it. That's
Okay.
why I didn't.
Don't tell me about it.
I'm not going
until
to.
then.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
But I have one on deck, and I will even send you a text night of to I have
I'm
one.
excited. I don't know what I'm going to do next week.
I know
But
exactly what
I
I'm
know
doing.
this week we're going to talk about, briefly, because I didn't go too deep on it, Dark Empire, which is now Legends. So it's in the EU, hence EU Sapiusa. But in Dark Empire, we actually get Palpatine's spirit jumping into a clone of Palpatine's body. Which
So-
is essentially what happens in Episode 9.
Right. So is this when all this backlash happened for episode? Not all of it. Not all of it.
For me, and I think for you too, the dumbest part in Episode 9 is the dagger. The Sith dagger. I love all of it except the dagger. I'm like, how does that line up?
I
Who
don't.
made it? Why
I
did they
don't
make
think it makes sense that he's back. I mean, you
I think
could
it
have made
does.
it make sense that he's back
I think it does.
in the context of the film and leading up
Film
to episode
only?
9.
No, makes no sense.
No, not films.
Films only still makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
Correct.
In the book that you shouldn't have to read to get the whole story, it doesn't. It makes more sense. But
Even if you've seen only the Clone Wars though and the films, it still makes sense.
you know that cloning's a thing, but they have not. They didn't hint at all that he was coming back. There's not a hint at all.
It's reaching. When I say the Clone Wars make it make sense, it is reaching because he's cloning Force sensitive babies, and for some reason he's interested in the Zillo Beast, and that's it. So it is a stretch to say that is him trying to clone himself. So it is a stretch. So even if you do throw in the Clone Wars, it still does kind of come out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere completely, and I think I've read this comic book. Maybe I've watched a YouTube video on it. I don't know which one. I feel like I've read so much stuff. I can't remember what I've read.
It's hard to keep it straight.
But I feel like I've read this because it was one of those things where I was like, that's very weird. And then when it happened in episode 9, I was like, it's weird, but it explains it more than what we got explained in episode 9. Everything okay?
Yep.
Oh, every time I see
Producers asking us some questions.
every time I see Austin's name, I'm like, oh no.
Right, it's gonna be audio's out or video's out or yeah.
I just feel like the even if like they would have shown, I mean, just a kernel of something in The Force Awakens to The Last Jedi. I like that he's back. I think it's cool, and I think it kind of, I've seen the argument of like, it negates the original trilogy. It doesn't negate the original trilogy, because the original trilogy was Anakin's turn, and regardless of Palpatine dying or not, still shows that he made the choice to do what he did to his master.
Yeah, to save his son, get rid of his master, turn himself back to the light side. Yeah, 100%. Even if somehow he knew Palpatine was going to come back, which Vader did not know. But even if he did know, he still made the choice to do what he did.
Well, no, he dies about 6 minutes after he dies.
Well, that's true. So ultimately, Vader doesn't really factor in after he does his deed. But it doesn't negate the originals at all. And it's the same people that say Luke isn't their Luke. Quote, their Luke. Like, it doesn't negate Luke from the originals. It doesn't negate Luke from Mandalorian. That's Luke's
I also think too, you have to have an arc. Like, you can't just be the same
timeline. Like, Luke in his timeline goes from like this whiny kid, and he becomes the hero, and then he becomes like the guy that's going around killing dark troopers because he doesn't want to kill people anymore. Like, that's what makes that scene even better. He's like, he's cutting down droids. He's not cutting down people. Because at that point in his life, he was like, okay, Jedi shouldn't just be killing people. Like, there's a balance we got to do here. But he's like, these are droids. It's fine. And then, obviously, there's still, 25 years now? From Commando Luke to Force Awakens Luke.
There's a lot of failure in that 25 years.
Oh, yeah, because we still have the turn of Ben, which I didn't say at the top of the show, but it ties into something later. Ben does not kill Grogu or Luke's students, mostly. But still.
But I went back through the night, and I watched The Last Jedi, some scenes in Last Jedi.
The flashbacks?
No. There's a scene where he's talking to Rey about the whole Luke thing.
Yeah.
He says, paraphrasing a quote, when I destroyed his temple.
I'm watching this tonight, and I'm going to ask, quote.
He says it to Rey when the night. He told you about how I destroyed his temple, or something to that effect.
Okay.
Before you leave, I'm watching it with you tonight.
Okay, that's fine too.
Because
but I'm still gonna, when I get home.
He says it to Rey.
Huh.
Now, it could be argued. They also said that Anakin was a pilot and Vader killed him. Okay, the same person.
From a certain point.
From a certain point of view.
Yeah.
He may have done the things. I think he's just showboating to show off.
Yeah, this could be. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
That's what
exaggerating to be like, look what I did, honey.
That's
like,
what I think. Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, if what you're saying is true, I believe it. Yeah.
But it could be seen as one of those certain point of view things. Now, I don't think that was the intention of Rian Johnson. I think Rian Johnson intended for him to be the one who killed everybody.
Which I'm fine either way. Like, I like both of those arcs. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't have to be a saint that didn't kill anybody, and I'm not saying he has to be like
a murderer. Canonically, he doesn't kill everybody. This is a really good cigar, by the way.
Correct. So Rian Johnson's intent wasn't like Kylo making this up and telling Rey a lie, but that's what it's turned out to be canonical.
Yeah,
and that's fine too. I'm okay with it. But
he does say it, so
I gotta see that
for people who
have that argument.
They have a canonical argument.
You can back it up.
Here's the thing, too. Lucasfilm has said, if you're going by what the movies say versus what the comic books say,
you go with the movie.
You go with the movie.
That's fair.
But does that does that mean, this arc that we did doesn't count, or is it minor discretions?
It's got to be minor discretions.
But at what point does it stop being a minor discretion?
Yeah.
Like, because I think they're going to just negate the entire Cassian Andor K2SO meeting 100%. That's for sure going to happen.
No.
Yeah,
I think they're just going to show it to us.
I think they're going to negate it.
No. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care because it's not that big a deal. But there are fanboys out there that are going to be.
You have to be consistent.
Yeah, you have to be consistent.
So that's a precedent. It either makes a difference, like
if you reset that little meeting there. That's the precedent, saying anything from the comics can be reset again.
And that's a problem because, why am I investing all my time, money, energy into keeping up? The money's not. It's $4.
I mean, I'm broke, so for me, it's a big deal.
But am I keeping up with this or am I not? Like, if I'm going to keep up with it, then you have to remain true to what you've put out.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, then I'm not going to keep reading them.
I feel like it's one thing if you offset comics, but if you start like offsetting novels, it's an even bigger deal. Because I feel like the novels are even more canon. Like, I mean, they're all canon, but if you had to like rank them, I feel like it's movies, novels, comics.
I agree 100% because the comics feel like comic books, where the novels feel like extensions of the universe.
Correct. Even though the comics are extensions of the universe, but it still feels like what you said, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in the comic books where you're like, what? Raised on this weird planet, and like it's clearly a comic book.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
And then there's the comic where Kylo goes and kills a Zillo beast, and then like the people of that planet worship that Zillo beast, but then he kills the Zillo beast, so then the people are like, we worship you now, you're our god. Like, that's very comic.
Is that the Age of
Resistance?
That was the Age of comic, right?
The villains comic, yeah. When you get a little bit of Kylo, a little bit of Hux, a little bit of Phasma, a little bit of Snoke.
Those were really fun.
Those are really good. Phasma's
the Phasma one was dope.
As much as I love Kylo and he's badass killing a Zillo beast, Phasma is the best.
Phasma was the best.
Her comic is the best.
I think that of that entire run
of Resistance, Age of Resistance.
No, the Age of series in general. I have all of them.
That's counting all the eras.
I have all of them.
I read them from you. Yeah.
I think she has the best comic out of all of the eras. Because it was what the Phasma book didn't do.
It's what the Phasma character didn't do.
The book more, because like the character was intended to be a cool looking character for marketing,
and she is very cool.
She's cool looking,
yeah. And so much so they even tried to copy her for Resistance with Commander Pyre and Lieutenant Von Ray.
I love
Commander Pyre is sweet.
It's a cool
the gold plated armor that looks so good.
Do they have a Black Series Commander?
No.
Yes, they do.
What, Pyre?
Yes, isn't
I
he?
Need it. I need it.
Isn't he? Look this up. Isn't he in the Black Series exclusives to Galaxy's Edge?
No, you're thinking that was Cardinal.
No. There's another one. There's two sets.
Pyre?
I'm pretty sure I'm right on this.
I need that if that's the case.
I'm pretty sure.
Don't get me wrong. Resistance is not very good. It's not good, but I still love it. So like,
it's not very good.
It's not
okay.
Good.
It's a good. I think it's a good Star Wars kids show.
That is true.
It's a kids show. Whereas Rebels is just more canon. This feels like an offshoot kids show, and I think it's a good kids show. You're not learning your ABCs or anything like that, but it's a solid, racing show that kind of turns into more. But they just didn't quite go as far enough.
Commander Pyre Black Series? Is that what I'm looking at?
Here, let me see it. You keep talking. You introduce the next segment, and I'll look this up. Austin, bring us the next segment, whatever you pick.
Transition us with this producer pick here, because we've been talking about the comics, we've been talking about books. I feel like it's a very easy, very good time to move on to Read of the Week. So, speaking of Kylo and the comics and the discrepancies of if he killed people or not, my favorite comic of all time is The Rise of Kylo Ren. I don't have the hardback, sadly. I've got the paperback. But this contains all 4 issues. And in this is where we get a somewhat copy.
Yep, I was right.
There is. Oh my gosh, I need that. Black Series Commander Pyre?
It's this. It's not any of these. It's this one.
It's in a pack.
But Commander Pyre. Told you.
Dang, yeah.
Ren.
Wait, it's a 2-pack.
Yeah,
You're
I
right,
told
you said that.
Yeah.
I need that. Oh, I need a Commander Pyre.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Whenever one of us sees it,
yeah, it's like $80, but you get like 3 or 4 figures.
They're all Black Series?
Yeah.
I need a Kylo Black Series, so that's fine.
There you go.
So it's a win-win.
I see it as an absolute win.
Right? Time travel. That was your Hulk quote. Okay.
I see it as an absolute win.
That's Baby Scott. He'll grow. That movie is pretty funny, even though I cry every time it's said. But Rise of Kylo Ren, this is where we get the stealing of Brad's character. Vi.
Have you ever talked
about not Vi? Ty.
Have you ever talked about this on the live stream?
Not on live stream.
Okay. I want you to tell the story so it's like I'm being like I'm.
I probably won't tell it as well, but basically,
I'll cut it if I have to.
Please save it. But like, Brad has an awesome character arc, awesome story of a student at Luke's Jedi Temple with Ben Solo, who is like best friends with Ben Solo, named Ty Virasi.
This was
way before.
Well before this was even announced.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see if this has a date on it. It has to, right?
It was before episode 9. So it was like September to December.
This is 2019, but you told me this well before this.
2018?
Yeah. Well before this. But let me find him so I can show a picture.
It may have just been early 2019, but it was way before.
But it was before this. Definitely before this. But in this comic, we do see, yes, Ben Solo does kill 2 of Luke's students, but he does not kill the whole temple. And in this comic, it's shown that the Knights of Ren are the one that go and burn Luke's temple. The very same night that Kylo does turn because Luke tries to kill him. So it's that very same night. So it's a pretty big coincidence. But it shows really what happens at night. I mean, you even get a picture of the exact flashback. Yeah, that's the exact flashback. So, like, we know what happens. You get Ben Solo's...
Oh, it even says Ben No.
Yeah, Ben No, yeah. And it shows Ben's lightsaber, Luke's lightsaber. Like, you get Ben Solo's ship he had when he was a Jedi. You get his droid he had when he was a Jedi. You get Snoke in his space station.
Which ties into the High Republic.
Which is such a cool tie-in. Such a cool tie-in. I'll try to find Ty for you, though. Let me find some picture of Ty.
Go to the beginning.
Who wrote this? Was it Soul? Soul was involved. Charles Soule is one of the comic goats. Like,
I would love to know, and this is not, he may have never even heard of the show. But someone has, because it's too odd of a coincidence.
But yeah.
It's such an odd coincidence that it's the same character.
Same name, same spelling. Well, we don't know his last name, but still, it's the same character. Ben's friend who trained under Luke at the Jedi Temple. And why would they make him be like the main character who's like connected with Ben? He's the one that like defends Ben even in this comic. Because there's 3 Jedi Knights that return to find the destruction of the temple.
My story was a little different. It was
a little different, but
it was so my story was,
try to show you guys. Yeah. He's the one in the center right here.
My story was he gets away while Ben Solo's destroying the temple and runs off, and Ben Solo has to choose between his friendship with Ty or killing him. That was essentially my story. But I mean, it's the same.
When you boil it down to like
it's the same.
The specifics, like
it was so strange. I remember I bought the comic book the same day you did, and you called me and you said, "Have you read this yet?" And I was like, "No."
Why? And I was like,
you go, "You're gonna be." You said you're gonna be pissed.
I did say that. I said that. Like you're gonna be. Yeah.
I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "Remember that character you came up with? They stole your character." I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, I mean they.
And I read it. I was like,
"I like what they did, but like you don't get any credit." Like, I don't
know. It's okay.
I don't know if it's really
the same
but
story.
It's got to be somehow. Somehow they knew. I don't know. There's other things you've said that have become canon. I forget the other instances. But there was
a few things that I've said that would be good ideas. One of them was this character.
There's at least 2 other things you said that happened.
One of the things I said was they should do a Bippity Boppity Boutique, but for Star Wars, for boys for Star Wars. And that became a thing on the cruise lines, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And then the third thing I said was they should land you on Batuu in Star Tours.
Yeah, and that happened.
So I don't know.
It would have been so much better if they moved Star Tours to actually fly you to Batuu.
I don't know if I'm psychic or if these things are just so obvious that that's just how it comes out.
It's not that. I think somehow people are.
I think someone's listening
because
it's just too many.
Do the obvious thing. They don't always do it.
I don't know, man. I don't like to take credit for it, but it is very odd because I mean, if you go back far enough, and listen to all the podcasts, you'll hear me say this story.
It's been around for a while,
and I think it had to be after Last Jedi.
Yeah, it definitely was.
So it was either 2018 or 2019, and one of the shows in there. And that's a big homework assignment, but if someone can find that, I talked about it for a while, and I had this story between you and me that I talked about it. I didn't talk about it on the show for like 2 or 3 months.
You described it to me as like a quote like love triangle, but not like love as in like passionate like marrying love, as in like Kylo split between like maintaining a friendship with Ty, maintaining his relationship with Luke, like it's a triangle in that sense. Yeah. That's how you explained it to me.
I think that it's been so long.
And this is definitely after Last Jedi, because after Force Awakens, we had no inkling of Kylo destroying Luke's temple.
Yeah.
And Last Jedi is the first time we see that he might have been the one that destroyed Luke's temple.
Yeah.
And But that is for me like the biggest contradiction between this and the visual dictionary for episode 9.
I think it's one of the biggest contradictions in Star Wars, period. Because I think when you see it in Last Jedi, you're going to go, what?
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. But like between this and the visual dictionary alone, the dictionary says Kylo did it. This says the Knights of Ren did it. So
the movie says Kylo Ren did it.
I got to see the movie now for sure. Again, I've seen the movie obviously hundreds of times, but I have to see it right now to find
I'm going to show it to you after this.
Okay.
All right, my read of the week is something a little more...
Stupid. I mean...
How dare you?
Go ahead.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not.
Resistance Reborn. One of my Rebecca Roanhorse, I think it's the only Star Wars book she's done, but I hope it's not the last. This one is so good. Evan's insane. So good.
Yep.
So Journey to the Rise of Skywalker book, it literally fills in the gap since Galaxy's Edge to Rise of Skywalker. It feels like a movie. It feels like you're reading a script. Like, it is so cinematic and so big. There's so many characters that kind of come back. This is one of those ones that I'm going to reread again because I loved it so much. I don't think there's any other Star Wars book other than Master and Apprentice that I want to read again other than this book. This book is fantastic. There are books I like more, but this book, I think, especially after the movie has come out, it'd be interesting to go back and reread it.
That might actually make me like it more, so maybe I should try that.
I love... Oh, look at this. Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Join the Resistance and enter a chance to win a trip to Star Wars Celebration.
Ooh.
That didn't age well. But it's just so good. I saw the back. Before the saga ends, before the Rise of Skywalker, the Resistance must be reborn. And it's just a cool story of them literally getting the band back together. And it really kind of feels like that. I love this book. I would like to maybe put this in the description for a link to Amazon because I think it's a really, really solid book. It's in my top 5 Star Wars books. I love it. Poe's awesome in this book.
That's true. That's true.
Everything about this book is awesome. And you find a little bit more about his lineage.
He was a spice runner?
Well, isn't it his lineage where they... I don't want to ruin it, but isn't he...
A little bit.
Because of a character dying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to
I don't want to ruin it.
I took all these notes when I read
this book. It's awesome. I'm telling you. This is one of those books where I read it and I was like, dude, you're going to love this book. He read it and he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, you're stupid.
Yeah, that's fair. But to tie into last week's
this is actually honestly too, I think last time I looked was one of the highest rated Star Wars books that they've made. So Evan's wrong.
But
I'm telling you,
ratings don't always matter. I mean, look at
that's very, very true.
For,
but
all the movies.
The difference is only people who read this are Star Wars fans and they're diehards.
That's true.
So a little different there.
But
any idiot can go buy a $6 movie and sit there for 2 hours. It takes somebody who cares to even know. It takes a
bigger idiot to buy it.
It takes a dumber person to read a $25 book.
Who's more the fool? The fool
or the fool who follows him? All right, Austin, let's hit that. Whoa. Sorry. Never mind.
But to tie into my last week's Read of the Week, I'm loving Lost Stars. I'm not finished with it yet, but because it's connections to things that I know. And maybe that's why I didn't like Resistance Reborn as much, because it has connections, mild spoilers. It has connections to Iden Versio and Inferno Squad, those kind of things, which
you haven't read that though.
I know of those, but I don't know them.
You need
that's
you
why
need to download
I
Audible and log into my account.
Yeah.
I'll do it before you leave, and you can listen to that Inferno Squad book. I'm telling you,
that's why
you will love it. It is such a good story.
Inferno Squad.
It is.
Okay, you love Inferno Squad.
It is such a good story, man. It's just great. It had no business being that good.
Nice.
It's a Star Wars. It's a Star Wars video game prequel book.
That's so weird.
It has no business being as good as
it doesn't have any business being.
There are parts of that where I was on the edge of my seat. I remember I was listening to it in the pool in my old apartment, and I was just like, "What's happening?" It's so good.
Yeah, they actually did. Nice. Well, I do need to, because maybe I'll appreciate it, because I'll understand the connections.
That's awesome.
So that's something I need. And then a bonus read of the week. Shopping at Publix, picked up a Time magazine for Star Wars. It has all 9 films. It has season 1 of Mando, and what really sold me on it was, of course, being the huge Batuu fan that I am. That page alone sold me on it. Getting just some more of it too. It's probably stuff I already know. I haven't looked at it yet, but that's what sold me on it.
So the read of the week, one of your reads of the week, is something you haven't read yet.
Bonus. That's what I'm saying. It's my read for this week. I'm gonna read it.
I haven't read any more of Into the Dark. I have just been so insanely busy, but I'm gonna have some downtime this weekend, and I'm gonna plow through that book. I will finish it by our next podcast recording or our next live stream. I promise you.
I'm hoping to get done with Lost Stars by the end of the month. I'm halfway done now. I've read about 100 pages in the past 3 days. So
Also, it's a solid book, man.
it's crazy. I love it.
Really
Claudia
good.
Gray is
She's
amazing.
the goat. I'm telling you.
She is amazing. She's my favorite author.
Into the Dark is so far. I've only read one all the way through, but it's just so far my best.
I mean, Delilah S. Dawson's amazing. Kevin Shinnick is obviously amazing. Claudia Gray, though, like she's probably the best.
Alexander Freed's really good too.
I haven't read his stuff
when
yet,
it's not alphabet smart. I just don't like that book.
Claudia Gray is the best.
And then the third one comes out this week.
But I need to read even more of Claudia Gray. But I love Black Spire by Delilah S. Dawson, so like that puts her up there for me. But I need more Claudia Gray. She's probably the goat. She's probably the best.
think she's a Star Wars goat. I mean, Timothy's there's an argument for Zahn.
E.K. Johnston too. She's good.
Too.
Like it's so hard. There's so many great authors.
I want to see Zoraida Cordova write a book in High Republic.
I need more of her. Like Crash of Fate.
I know it's not your favorite,
but I still like it. It's one
of my top fives.
Yeah, it's still
I
good.
love that book.
That doesn't mean it's not good because I didn't love it, but it's good, and she's a good author. We need more of her too. I'd love to have her do a High Republic.
That'd be dope. Because like the thing is, you said you didn't like Crash Fate because it was a love story, but Lost Stars is very much a love story.
Yeah, I shouldn't say because it's a love story. I mean, I should say like just because it's so
a love
focused
story.
on those two characters, and like that's all that matters.
But
and, more.
But the thing is, it's set in a setting that you're going to get to explore. So you're exploring it. Like I think now that it's open, you need to read it again.
Yeah,
because at that point, I don't think you had even been to Batu when you read Crash of Fate, right?
Yeah, because I met you after Galaxy's Edge opened, and I borrowed the book.
That book came out. Okay, that book came out.
You read it before.
That book came out before this one's opening.
Yeah,
but I'd already been to Batu because it came out.
You went to Disneyland.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But I also borrowed the book from you after I met you.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, I think you need to give it another read it again because it's a solid book. I'm gonna read this.
That's how it is with all media, books, comics.
Oh, for sure.
TV shows, movies.
For sure.
You need to see it or read it multiple times before you can really judge it. Unless you would just automatically love it, because then it's like, okay, you love it if you get it.
But even then, you can just be overwhelmed with the hype.
That's true. So you can still go back and reread it. Because
like, I bet you Infinity War is not as good as I remember it being.
Infinity War is better than Endgame to me. And I've seen both of them 7 times or more. I've seen Infinity War like 20 times. I've seen Infinity War or Endgame like 7.
Every time I see how many minutes it is, I'm like, oh.
You talking about Endgame or Infinity War?
Whichever one's the longer one.
Endgame.
Endgame is the longer one. Every time I see that,
3 hours.
I'm like,
it took us 3 days to watch it.
I'd rather watch Titanic.
I don't know about that.
I love Titanic.
I don't know about that.
I love that movie.
What would you guys think, listeners out there?
Titanic or Infinity War?
With your listener questions about Titanic.
All right, let's move on to the. Never mind. I said what I wanted to do. Let's move on to the next segment. I don't even know what it is.
Austin, that would be it. It would be the listener questions.
We got a few. One of them comes from
our producer. A few right now.
Okay. First one. You read them. I've been drinking. I can't.
I haven't. I've lost count how many fuzzy tauntauns I've had. I think I've had 6.
That's a lot.
Which these are small, so technically 3 fuzzy tauntauns.
Yeah, it's not
it's still a lot though.
But there's no foam. All right, go ahead.
I can feel my lips. That's true. We'll start with one from our producer and save one for the best for last. For listeners.
Fair.
So our producer, not that his question wasn't good, because it is. Our producer, our amazing, excellent, awesome producer, Austin Boucher. He wants to know, what is our opinion on fanfics and fan films? Have you watched any? If so, what?
I have watched a few of them.
I've watched
For the most part, I don't love them.
Concur.
But I love the passion, and I love the effort, and I love anyone who makes a film in any regard. Good or not, the attempt is valiant.
The dedication of time and money.
It's insane.
Effort.
You're a badass. If you've made a short film, if you've made a feature-length film, if you've made any sort of video content that is that level of like just the effect work. Like it's just so insane. The ones that come to mind are the one that I liked the most. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's literally like a Jedi and a Sith fighting in a forest. I will find out what it's called because it deserves. It's my favorite fan film I've seen, but I don't remember the name of it. But it is really, really good. Then the one that Star Wars Theory did.
See, that's the one I was going to mention.
I don't like it though.
Have you watched it more than once?
I watched it twice because I remember watching it and I was just kind of like.
I watched it like the day it came out.
I did too. It's admirable.
Years ago.
It's admirable.
3 years ago now?
3 or 4. It's admirable. And then like he had this whole like I feel like the whole thing with Lucasfilm was him just getting pressed for it.
Yeah, but then like he ended up hating Lucasfilm for a little bit, and then he came back around. Like the dude's
hang on. He hated Lucasfilm, but his entire channel is based on like.
But he came back around. The dude's he's really smart. He knows Star Wars. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but I watched it the day it came out, and I was like, yikes! Like, okay, good dedication, obviously, good effort, obviously, but I was like, hey, this isn't the best. But that's funny that Austin asked this just now because I watched it about maybe 2 weeks ago for the second time, only the first time since it came out, and I was like, this is a lot better than I remember. I enjoy it. Like, I like it a lot. So, I don't know if that's just me maturing, me finally, like, growing up and, like, okay, time, effort, money, it takes a lot. I get it.
I see that when I see it, but then I just kind of go, like, it's just not my thing. And that's fine. Not everything has to be my thing.
I wouldn't say it's my thing, but I'd say it's better than I gave it credit for.
I watched it twice in the week it came out, and I was like, there had to be some reason I wanted to see it again. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have ideas.
Now, have you seen the second? I guess the sequel to it.
No.
It came out like a month or 2 ago.
No.
That one is badass.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's gonna be more. It's not done. So like I like it. That one. Spoilers for these fan films if you haven't seen them. But Star Wars Theory, Episode 1. I forget what he called them. Chapter 1 maybe. Is like a Vader story. He goes back to Naboo to hunt down some Jedi that's on Naboo, killing all his troopers. So Vader goes there himself. And the second film, whatever. Do you know who that Jedi is?
Nope.
Do you want me to tell you?
Tell me. I don't care.
The Jedi that is on Naboo slaughtering all these clone troopers is Mace Windu. And like that idea, I don't know how he survived. They don't show how he survived. But take that out. It's just Mace Windu being badass, and it's like a little horror film. It's like it's shorter because the budget went to effects.
But why would he
it's like
be
3 minutes of him being a badass?
But he's slaughtering clone troopers on Naboo.
But they're at this point it's post Order 66.
Okay.
So the troopers are trying to kill him.
Okay.
So he's just killing them like horror film style.
I mean,
it's much better than the first Vader film. So I'm excited.
I actually think they could bring Mace Windu back. I think it would be pretty badass if they did. Yeah. Like, I actually have a theory, a game theory. No,
that's just a theory.
I have a game theory. I have a theory that in the next Jedi Fallen Order, you're going to see him.
I'd be okay with it. As long as it's done well. If he's back, that's cool.
That's my thought.
And that's the thing with this Vader fan film is they don't waste time saying how Mace Windu survived. It's just, he's there being a badass. So if you don't question it, it's cool. So I'm excited to see what they.
I got no ill will against him.
Oh,
he's a nice guy.
Oh,
I've met him. I've met him once or twice at Celebration. We chatted for a minute. I was like, "Hey, man, you're awesome. I love what you do."
Yeah.
I don't think I would say I'm a fan of his necessarily, but I respect him.
I definitely respect him, but I don't
watch anything Star Wars from anybody.
I watch only his Vader fan films. When I go, it's not like I'm comparing the two or putting them against each other. Obviously, I'm not. But my YouTube go-to is Alex Damon and Molly Damon.
I don't even watch them
Star Wars.
And I had a really cool conversation with him and the media.
They're amazing people. So
no, he's awesome. Yeah. Like, again, it's not a personal thing.
No,
I just don't. Like, I don't feel the need to watch Star Wars stuff 24/7 because I do it, and I'm always thinking about the show. Like, I'll text you things. I'm like, hey, let's do this. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch it then as like casually as well. I'd rather just kind of do it in the moment.
Which, like, quick side tangent. I sent you a message on Instagram. It was a fan-made poster, but it was of Hera Syndulla in Rangers of the New Republic.
Yes.
Instead of Gina Carano's Cara Dune. We both said yes.
Yeah.
We want Hera Syndulla. That would be awesome.
I just don't want Gina.
It's not going to be. It won't
It's not
be.
going to happen.
It would be awesome to see Hera, especially in this time period.
They rehired James Gunn. I mean, they could. I don't know. We're not going to get into that conversation, but
Okay. Moving on, though. Our next question comes from...
Are there more coming in?
Yeah. We're up to 3 more now after this. 2 from the same listener. So let's knock out her 2 excellent questions. Kylie J. I'm going to say her last name wrong. I apologize.
Hi, Kylie J.
People say my last name wrong all the time, so I understand. Kylie J. Weimer. Her first question. She says, what new teased series are we most excited for?
Let's say them on the count of 3 together. Ready?
Well, is that announced or teased? She's saying teased.
I would assume it's announced. Let's just go with announced.
Announced. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
That one I'm very excited for because I think
We're going to see Liam Neeson. We're going to see
I don't
Hayden
think we're gonna stop
Christensen.
Christopher
We're going to
Neeson.
see... We have to. I brought you around on this a while ago.
you brought me around the idea that we have to.
We have
but I don't think
to. If
we're
we
going
don't,
to.
It's Deborah Chow, though. So Deborah Chow
Deborah
knows
Chow's
what
so
she's
awesome.
doing. She's amazing. So
That's awesome.
I don't think it would be bad if they don't include Liam. I just need and want to see Liam. But if he's not there and it's done well, I'd be like, hey, it's fine. It was done well. So I'd say Obi-Wan.
I think it would be more effective to tease them talking at the end of the show.
And see, you brought me around to
Like
that.
him meditating or something, and then you hear
Yeah.
his voice like, Obi-Wan,
And that's it. Yeah.
use the Force, Obi-Wan. Like
Yeah.
something like
See,
that, and then like that's kind of gets the
sold.
mantra to tell Luke. I think it'd be kind of
I'm
cool.
sold. Well, yeah,
Alright.
yep. So she actually commented. She said, either one, teased or announced, whichever one you
Perfect.
want to do. And then, I don't know.
I hope that answers your question. My number 2 would be Rangers of the High Republic.
Especially New
Or New.
Especially
New
now,
Republic.
seeing, is it going to be Hera? Is it going to be Carson? Is it going to be Trapper?
I want to see Bill Burr.
And that was in that fan-made poster I sent you. It was
I
Bill
love it.
Burr. So if he's involved, that'd be sweet too.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
I'm excited for Acolyte because I love Darkseid, so I need to see more Darkseid.
I'm excited to see High Republic in live action.
Yeah, for
That'll be
sure.
cool.
That's a good point. And
I'm
you see-
excited for all of it. The only one,
Yeah.
only
Well,
one I'm not-
Andor, you're like, even with Lucas coming back. We talked
that
about
makes me
last
even
week,
more nervous.
Right? We talked about it last week.
That makes me even more nervous about him coming back. It's just like I don't
And
know,
see,
man.
to me, I think Acolyte. No, I said Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan made more sense for George Lucas to come back.
Yeah, because that's
Ties
stuff
in
he
his
made.
prequels,
That's
his
all
originals,
stuff he
ties
made.
in, and it's his character, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, it's all stuff he
So-
created. So it just makes more sense for that. What are you gonna do?
So Kylie's second question is, she says, I'm a new Star Wars fan, so what shows should I move to now that I have finished all of the movies, including Solo and Rogue One? I just started Mando.
Finish Mando.
Definitely. Season 1 and 2.
That's I think of all the
That's
Star
priority.
Wars TV shows, that's
Priority.
like hands down the best.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Then I would go Rebels, then Clone Wars.
Then Resistance.
I wouldn't even bother with Resistance. Hey,
If you
his
get
parents
more,
are on Hosnian Prime, and then you find
Spoilers.
out that they're alive. There you go.
That's
That's
basically
basically
the whole series.
Star Wars Resistance.
Yeah.
I saved you a year and a
2 seasons. The 2 seasons is like 45
It's not a good.
episodes.
It's not a great show.
No.
It's not.
But
a
if
great
you get bored on Disney Plus, you're looking for some more Star
show. just
Wars.
go watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit. There's a reason.
If you're looking for more Star Wars. Roger Rabbit's on Disney Plus?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I have the DVD, but still, wow.
Yeah, man, get on it.
But I would, yeah, that order is correct. Mando, then Rebels, then Clone Wars, then Resistance. If you're bored and need more Star Wars in your life,
You'd have to be really, really bored.
I am really bored.
I think the Jedi Kids show, the Legend of the Hidden Temple Jedi,
Trials of the Temple,
is better than Resistance.
it's more entertaining, that's for sure.
And the Jedi stories they tell are pretty cool.
And you get Kylo Ren back.
Yeah.
Ahmed Best.
Yeah, it's big better.
Ahmed Best, his character is canon. Kylo Ren back.
Yeah, it is.
So
I would go. Here's the
new order,
not
not the final order,
the first order.
not the first
This
order.
is my first order.
His
I would say Mandalorian.
Yep.
Rebels.
Yep.
Clone Wars. Jedi Fallen Order, even though it's not a TV show.
That's fair. Watch a YouTube playthrough.
Watch everything else on Disney Plus and then Resistance.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, what else?
I love Resistance. Okay. Our last listener has 2 questions. Again, Tori Hag asks, Her first question is: in terms of comics, do you think they should read to do you think they should be read to supplement the movies / go deeper into characters, or are they more for fun, in your opinion?
Okay. I want to read the question again because there's a word in there that made me kind of go.
And I butchered it, so understandable. In terms of the comics, do you think that they should be read to supplement the movies and go deeper into characters, or are they more for fun, in your opinion?
I think, my opinion. Okay, so my opinion is they should be to supplement the films.
I agree.
Meaning adding character depth.
That's what we want.
To the characters.
Yes.
For example, the new Star Wars run takes place in between, like this moment Star Wars Episode 5 ends, and you get Luke and Leia looking out that scene, and there's like kind of even like a little bit before that, if I'm remembering right. But it's the whole trauma of Luke losing his arm and finding out that Darth Vader is his father, and like what that does to him in the moment. Like, I'm getting chills. Like, that's one of the best uses of the comics. When the comics start doing stuff like, I'm on this neon painted planet.
No, don't forget about the vacation planet.
For God's sake!
What is it, Biggs and who goes there? Biggs and
I blocked it out.
Porkins? Biggs and Porkins?
I don't remember. I blocked it out. It's.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
It's I hate to talk crap about people who worked really hard, but I feel like they were phoning it in this day. There's a literal comic in the Age of Republic. I think it's Age of Republic, right?
Yep.
Where I think it's Biggs and Porkins or
Biggs
Wedge.
And Wedge.
Is it Wedge?
I forget.
It's two of them. I forget.
Two of the
I literally blocked it out because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Go to a resort planet.
It's like a DVC planet. Like
it's the stupid. It was so dumb. Me and Alex read it, and we did a YouTube video on it.
I haven't seen that. I need to watch it.
I'll send you the link. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I'm not a fan of that comic either. Like,
it's so bad. It is so bad. It makes you go like, if that was my introduction to a Star Wars comic book,
you'd be like, I'm done.
I would have never read another one. So I think that they should be used with the intention of adding to what you already know and expanding it a little bit. That's fine.
Yep.
But I think you just need to kind of just add to the characters. And I think this new Star Wars run, what I've read so far of it, I'm a little bit behind, but what I've read so far of it is really, really good at doing just that.
I agree, 100%. Like, for me and you and fans like us that want it to be that, like, it should be about adding more depth to the characters we want depth added to. That's what it's for. Like, we really don't need any more Vader stuff, but the mainline Charles Soule Vader comics are great. So that's fine. Like, give us more of that kind of stuff. And
I'm missing 3 issues. And I'm not reading it until I get all of them because I know I'm going to miss something.
That's smart. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And it's the same with, like, locations. Like, we love the very short 5-issue series of Galaxy's Edge.
I want more of that.
Do you think they'll come back to it?
I don't know, man.
You have to.
They just... My problem with the Galaxy's Edge ones was they just literally did the stuff you see on Batu.
It was less of Galaxy's Edge and more of, like...
Black Spire Outpost.
Yeah. And I want... Yeah. It's hard. I want more of, like, Batu and, like, the characters of Batu. This is more like, this one guy came to Batu one time and gave this character this, and then this other person came and did this mission for this person. It's like, I want more of the location.
The Han Solo thing's cool, though.
They're cool tie-ins. The Han Solo tie-in, the Dr. Aphra tie-in, they're cool tie-ins. But I want more of the space I'm in.
Yeah.
I wanted to supplement more characters, locations, and stories I know.
This is going to sound so stupid, but I think you'll agree with me. I don't want it to feel like I'm reading a comic book.
No, yeah. I get that.
I want it to feel like it's part of it. Like when you...
that's like the vacation planet. That felt like a comic.
God, it was so stupid.
And even
it didn't feel like... I felt like it was just like... That's the best you have? All right, well, the deadline's here, so just write it. Like it was so stupid.
For a different example, like...
I wish I had my comic books here so we could just read it, these people.
That's true.
That's going to be my read of the week
next week. Okay.
Please don't read this.
No, that's fair.
The please don't read of the week.
Please don't. Page turner, it is not.
Oh, God, it's the worst.
So
Star
far,
Wars.
everything we've brought up in Read of the Week segment have been page turners.
Yeah.
Next week, maybe not. That might be.
I'm telling you, man,
next week.
It's not good.
So,
it's not.
see, I don't know. To an example that I like, but also doesn't really give us anything. I talked about it already. Like Kylo goes and kills the Zillo Beast. It's like, okay, that's badass, but like it's like a Pokemon cartoon. I'm like, we don't need it. Like we know he's badass.
There's smoke in my eyes.
But like, it doesn't really give us anything.
Ugh.
So like, that doesn't really supplement. It just that's like kind of entertaining. That's it. But then the Phasma one gives us more info on a character we don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And it shows how badass she really is. It's like, oh, she's willing to do this. It's like, all right,
I think
she's cool.
Well, the book did that first, but the book wasn't as good. The best part of the book for me is the interaction between Vine
Cardinal.
and Cardinal.
Yeah.
Like that's the
dynamic
coolest part.
I want more of. If you give me a comic that's Vine Cardinal.
Now,
yeah.
Spoiler alert, and I could be wrong with this, but doesn't Cardinal die in that book?
He dies in Black Spire by Delilah Dawson.
I need to reread Black Spire.
At the end of Black Spire, Cardinal dies. He goes out like a boss. Because he is a boss.
I don't even remember that.
No? Well, no. You need to read it again.
I need to reread it. I have it on audiobook. I'll do that this week too. All right, is that it? We have any more?
And the last question, also from Tori Hag, is, in your opinion, how do you think the Star Wars movies should be watched, or what is your favorite? In order they were released by, or by episode?
I say episodic is the way to go. Timeline is the way to go.
Okay.
Because I think if you don't know anything, like you just know Darth Vader's the bad guy, Luke's the good guy. If you watch it from the beginning, you're gonna get the whole story, and I think you still like all the surprises. Well, that's not true. I would say all the surprises hit you the same, but
because you see in Revenge of the Sith, Luke and Leia be born. You know they're Anakin's kids, and you know Anakin is Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith is like where that all hinges big time.
I still think episodic, like timeline order, because I feel like, especially if you're showing it to kids, if you start with a movie that's as slow as A New Hope is,
that's a good point. And you want them to be invested.
They're not. I mean, I've tried with I literally have tried to sit my son down and watch A New Hope with him.
Yeah.
And he gets so bored after when C-3PO and they're wandering through the desert.
An hour.
It's just so slow. But then you put on Phantom Menace and things are happening quickly.
Because Phantom Menace is the most kids-oriented film of all Star Wars.
I think so.
Of all of Star Wars.
I think so. I think you're right.
It's so weird. Like, A New Hope is basically like the original Rogue One. Like, it's so slow for the first 2 acts, and then the third act is perfection.
Yeah.
It's basically Rogue One. Like,
yeah, you're right. I never really thought about that.
The first 2 acts are just like, okay, when are we going to get going? And then the third act is like, holy crap,
the thing is, though, once you finish the movie, the first 2 acts, and you go back and rewatch it, mean more than they did when you're watching it, because you kind of get the whole scope of the story.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think, like, there's just something to seeing Anakin fall and then know he's Vader and be like, how does this tie in?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So then you get to see his redemption not knowing it's coming. Yeah. Then, like, if you watch 4, 5, 6, you see him redeemed. And then you go watch 1, 2, 3. You're just like, wait, he's redeemed. So like,
he's good now?
Yeah. He's good now. He's bad in the middle, and he's good at the end. It'd be cool to see him be good, and then bad, and then good.
See, here's why I think timeline order would be dope for a first-time viewer, because you get 1, 2, 3, then you get this break, and you get Solo and Rogue One.
You'd be like, what? What is this? What's this have to do?
And it wouldn't really, like...
They're fun little side
you also get that same break in between 6 and 7 because of Mandalorian.
Yeah, so if you're only doing movies, you don't even get that stuff.
I count Mandalorian as a movie. I know it's a show.
You have to,
but it doesn't feel like a show, like the way that Rebels.
Especially the way that it's. I mean, it's not over, but that it's currently ended. Like if they announced today they changed their mind, no more Mando.
Oh, I'm sad.
I wouldn't be mad.
I would be mad at all.
I'd be like, that's a great ending.
Perfect end on top.
Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna see retake of Mandalorian's back on top. We're gonna see it, so that's fine. But yeah, if they announced today it's over, I'd be like, that 2 seasons was like amazing movie. It was like a 2 or 3 long movie.
It's like its own trilogy.
Yeah. If you had to break that down, like, what's the first film? What's the second film?
There's 8 episodes, so
16 total.
So I would say
First film.
The first film would be the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
Then you
basically
have
just on Navarro. That's it.
Yeah. Then you have the
second film.
I think just that 4 through 8 of the first season.
Okay, and then all of season 2.
All of season 2 is its own thing.
Yeah.
Because it feels very different from season 1.
It does. Well, we need to do our season 2 rewatch.
Yeah.
But I'd love to watch part of it, at least part of it.
We need
back
to do
to
that
back.
soon. At least some of it.
Yeah.
Because I haven't watched it on purpose because I'm waiting for that.
I haven't watched anything except the Luke scene on purpose because of that. But
I've watched the Luke scene on purpose.
The Luke scene is so emotional. It still gets me. Still makes me cry. But like you said, I think before the show started tonight, what doesn't make me cry? I go to Epcot, I see the new changes, makes me cry. I watch Endgame, makes me cry.
Yeah, quit crying.
I watch Episode 9, makes me cry.
Episode 9 makes me cry
It's
every
fine.
time. God, those silhouettes of those two.
You know what's crazy? They're really good about showing us a character's death and then making us relive it through another character. Like we see Han die, and then we see Chewie freak out.
Dude, this
Then
part,
we see Leia die.
this is the
Then we see Chewie freak out.
I can pinpoint the saddest moment in Star Wars. You ready?
Chewie falling to his knees?
No, this.
Nah.
Dude, I guess maybe because I'm a dad.
Probably.
When he looks at his son and knows that his son
Just killed him.
but not even, but it's not even just killed him. It's that because there's that moment where he goes. That's why the scene in Episode 9 is so perfect.
I love that scene.
Is where he goes, I know what I have to do, but I know I have the strength to do it.
You do.
We all know
you do.
in the movie he's meaning come back to his father.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately what he does. He ultimately turns good, right?
Yeah.
And his dad, in the moment, thinks that's what's going to happen, and goes to grab the lightsaber from him.
To help him.
Then to help him do what he says.
Yeah.
And then the darkness. It's
The
so
sun goes
symbolic.
away.
So
The
the
sun
light
disappears.
literally deers.
As long as we have light, there's
The
still
light comes out of the sun.
Yeah. The sun, not S-U-N, S-O-N.
This.
It's pretty genius.
It really is. The
It's
light comes.
S-U-N
The
and
light.
S-O-N.
The light is completely pulled out of the
Leaves
sun, and then it leaves his son
in darkness.
in darkness, and
Yeah.
then he gets stabbed. And the last thing he does, as he
Caress his
knows
face.
his son is dying,
Yeah.
touches his face, and there's
He
this
falls.
wave of disappointment, not madness,
Yeah, no,
Not
it's not
anger.
anger. No.
disappointment of being like, this is not how it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that tortured him to the point that when he's literally, come on, dude.
Yeah.
At the moment, to the point where
I'm getting
chills too. To the point where when he's turning back, he relives that moment literally word for word.
Yeah.
And apologizes.
You're just a memory.
And
You're a memory.
I don't even think that people realize this
They
line
don't.
is when he goes, Dad, and he goes, I know. It's because he was going to say, I love you,
Obviously.
the way Leia did.
Yeah.
But no one brings that up.
How do they not know that? It's
No one
obvious.
brings it up. No one
It's
brings it up.
obvious.
That's what he was going to say. That's why he replied, I know. Give me a better moment in
And
Star Wars.
and it's
Give
still-
me a better
And
moment
it's
in
still,
Star
it
Wars.
is still Ben's memory, but Ben knows
It
his
makes me
father.
emotional, dude. I'm
Yeah,
sitting here about to cry over
It
it.
shows you
I'm
how
turning into you. I'm a
Oh,
woman.
now you cry too much. Wait, I'm a woman, so you're turning into me. You're
cry-
a woman, so
No,
I'm a woman.
I cry at
so
everything. I cry at everything.
Oh, so you're sexist. Women cry at everything. Huh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I said. I'm pretty sure
That's exactly what you said.
That's
Cancel you.
You can try.
Cancel me too. It's okay. Dang. And it's not a question, but Kylie also has come back and commented saying that she just watched them chronologically since I watched them when I was little, but I didn't remember much and I loved it that way since I knew most of the surprises.
Yeah, once you've seen it once, it's like...
I didn't give my answer, I don't think, did I?
No, what's your answer?
I don't know. It's kind of related in a side note kind of way, but I need to do Marvel timeline now.
That's what we're doing.
Now that I've seen chronological or release order, I need to do timeline for them. But I've seen Star Wars both ways, and honestly, it's weird. I think most of the time I feel like I would have said release order, but I think timeline is better. Timeline is the way to go. Like, why else would there be a timeline? Like, it's there, so you do it in that order. Like,
That's There's no wrong way.
There's no. Well, what about backwards? 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh, that's just stupid. Who would do that?
That's the wrong way. There you go. I would do that. I'm stupid.
Well, I love that they're broken up into trilogies, and you can literally just kind of pop in at the beginning of each one of the
trilogies. You can. It's blocks. You like, which block do I do? Like, yeah. There's no way that you do
7, 8,
sequel
9
first, right? There's no way.
I tried that. So when my niece came to me and was like, "I want to watch Star Wars with you," I was like, "Okay." I actually chose sequels first because I wanted her to be invested. I didn't want to put on episode 4.
But if she watches the sequels and then watches prequels or originals, she'll be like, "Who are these people?"
She knows who Luke and Han are just because it's in popular culture. Like, she knows who they are.
That's fair.
So, like,
that's kind of
if you know what happens, you can kind of pick up where it's left off, right? Because Vader's not involved, so you don't have to worry about the turn and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So there is a scenario where you could. I think if you do 7, 8, 9, you got to go 7, 8, 9,
1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. You got to kind of go back and back and back and go like, well, who's that? Well, that's what this great movie here is for. And then you can kind of go, well, who's that? Number 3. So, yes, there's a gold room says you should do it. And 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Star Wars.
And then watch Han Solo and Star Wars Story. Oh, yes. These are horrible Jeff Goldblum impressions. All right, anything else?
That is it, my friend. That is it.
Well, thank you guys for watching so much.
Heck yeah.
These are really fun to do. I feel like we're getting better at them.
Heck yeah. Only a week has gone by, but this was like so much better.
I also think it was weird doing it in your apartment. And that's not a knock on you.
No.
It was
We've
just
never done anything in my apartment.
No, it was just a change. Like, this is where it should be done.
It's more comfortable, more relaxed.
It just feels more natural.
Just you and us.
It just feels you
cold
and us.
Ones with the boys. You and us.
Boys. I made my money doing first one.
You want to hold hands and skip down Hollywood Boulevard? Not my thing. But hey,
no one knows what we're talking about.
Hey, if you don't want to do any more of those videos, I'll do it. You produce it, Austin produce it, whatever. I'll be Jaguar Hairbrush's brother. I don't care. I don't. What will his brother's name be? That's the site.
Cheetah Hairbrush?
Cheetah Comb?
Cheetah Comb? That'd be the same last name.
You're right. They're brothers.
Okay. If you don't know what we're talking about, type in Jaguar Hairbrush on YouTube.
Will that actually make it pop up?
Yeah.
Ooh. Wait,
well, yeah, because there's so many things called Jaguar Hairbrush.
Try this.
Let's see what works. I don't think I have a bald spot. That's really sad.
Because we're both going bald, bro. We're old.
Okay, first off, don't say that. I'm not going bald.
Look at that.
You going bald? That's your problem. Bold. Don't drag me down with you.
I'm going bold.
I was just doing my hair. I didn't even brush it if I got out of the shower tonight. It was
Jaguar Hairbrush. You are right.
Told you.
Look at that, my friends.
Go watch that video.
Go watch that video.
It's so stupid.
Holy cow!
How many years ago was that?
1 year ago.
Oh, it's gotta be. It's gotta be 2,000
views.
How many?
4,500.
Oh, it's really funny.
It's
one of the
funniest videos on YouTube. Austin, our producer is about to end it.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.
October 13th, 2019. So a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago.
Okay, sorry.
That seems like it's way older than that.
It does.
Weird. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week with our live stream. We'll let you guys know the date. We'll give you Facebook group. Facebook, go, if you're on Facebook, type in Jedi Talk. Join the Facebook group. It's a new thing that I started this week. There's only like 6 people in there because I haven't really talked about it yet.
He didn't let me in, so.
It's not true. You're in it.
That's true.
Go join that Facebook group. You'll get all the updates. You can talk about episodes on that. Until then, we'll see you guys next time. May the Force be with you.
Always.
I don't know how to end this.
I think.